There we go. Okay. Well, folks, it had to happen sooner or later. Welcome to the B3 GamingCast, episode 35. And by cast, we have this week, for your listening pleasure, your host as always, Janzer. And that's it. I actually have no idea where the others are. Haven't had any, I'm sure they're doing things that are important. Gamertron's probably making dinner for his family like usual, or banging ex-girlfriends per usual. Let's see here. So, I'm not kidding. There literally is no one else, which is fine. I've actually wondered when that was going to happen. So, looking at the few things, I'm gonna go on with the podcast anyways, because it was originally my idea. I don't care. It is what it is. And they will show up when they feel like it or not, I suppose. Count has an excuse. He's working, and Gamertron might have broken his leg with like a bear attack or something. Or an ex-girlfriend got his dick stuck in the vagine. So, really quickly, this might be a very short cast, maybe about an hour or so, but it's okay. I did about 30 or so of these before on my own. Really quickly, what did I do this past weekend? Apparently, I've become a professional gamer. I've put in about 40 hours of gameplay this past week. Starting off with ESO, Elder Scrolls Online. I hit champion level in about 2022 or something like that, I believe, in champion. And I kind of became disenchanted with playing ESO because of the fact that my build with that character, my Wood Elf build, just didn't have the same stats as anything else that I could see out there. Didn't have the same health, didn't have the same stamina. I was like, why are my stamina points different? Why is my health different? Even though I'm allocating my points, from what I found out later on, exactly the same as even someone like Deltia. I was like, wait a second. I did my build, and this guy has the same build, it turns out, that I did, except for equipment. Now, I know the first thing to think about is like, okay, well, it's clearly equipment. That's the problem, right? It's going to be an equipment issue. It wasn't equipment, because the equipment the guy's using was not adding any health, for example. What is that beeping noise? Here's some kind of beeping. Oh, I think I know what it is. It's TeamSpeak. Muted. Every time you unmute the sound or whatever. I was trying to hear if anybody jumped on the channel, but yeah. So basically, the equipment that these different people were using, they were not like health items. They weren't stamina, increasing max stamina or increasing max health. So after watching a few vids and not being able to figure that out, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm kind of tired of this right now. I worked all this time to get up to champion level, and something's wrong with my build, and I don't want to fucking deal with it. I grinded my ass off, and I'm short like 10,000 health, 10,000 stamina. I'm going out there, and I'm looking like a fool, falling down and whatnot, and having to rely on the bow. The fuck is that? I'm an assassin. I should be able to go murder people. Things going up to 50 were pretty okay. The last 5 levels were pretty rough. Anyway, so I can't, like I said, grinded that, got a little disenchanted after looking at different builds. And I was like, you know what? It costs so much to re-roll your character money-wise. I don't have the money because I was grinding all of my crafting at the same time. Woodworking, metalworking, and clothing. And I'm just like, okay, I'm just tired of the game. Just tired of it. So I gave it a break. And what actually happened is I logged in and the servers were under maintenance. And because they were under maintenance, I said to myself, actually I put on Twitter, I was like, well, ESO's under maintenance. I guess I'll try out Paragon because I had heard about Monolith. So rolling into the next topic, Paragon. I have apparently put 30 hours into that game this past week. I didn't play Thursday, I'm pretty sure. So 30 hours. yeah. I would say I have a problem, except for the fact that I don't have a full-time job. So technically, gaming is now my full-time job. Yeah. Paragon, 30 hours. And I have, wait, is this legit a GamingCast? Yeah, I mean, I'm not kidding. There's no one else here, Graham. So, and I haven't heard from them, so that's totally fine. So for people listening right now, B3 GamingCast on Twitch TV, people in chat are there, so I'm talking a bit to them. And, yeah. So 30 hours into Paragon. Favorite characters? Definitely Rictor. Rictor is one of my favorites. He's a tank type specialist, and it's a free-to-play game. Let me preface this. What is Paragon? Basically, Paragon is a MOBA type of game, but it uses the Unreal Engine, and I think the latest one, and it's very good to look at. They took their legacy map and they shrunk it down to a smaller size, so the action is much more impactful. I mean, you have much more areas where you're actually in a clash with other people, which is awesome because you want action. And I don't know about anybody else, but MOBAs, to me, were pretty dry and boring because they take so long to get things actually going. So with this, you have an over-the-shoulder kind of third-person view, very similar to like ESO or the Division. More similar to the Division because the camera is actually really close up on you. The camera's actually pulled back a bit more than the Division. The Division, your character is really right up in your face on the screen. The camera's pulled down really tight, and I really wish that you could pull the camera out just a little bit more in the Division. If you did, you would get a little bit more awareness of the surroundings as well, but I think they pull it in because they want it to be a little bit more right in your face. You know, it's a little more visceral when things are just that much closer to you and you don't have that, you have to kind of look around. You can't really just pan the camera around. ESO, you can pull the camera way back to where it's kind of like Diablo style and your character is really small and you can see everything around you. It's really helpful for PvP. Anyways, back to Paragon. So Paragon, yeah, camera's good, graphics are good. I know the map itself, the developers have said that they are still working on the map, so the graphics are not exactly up to par. The old community, of course, hates the new stuff. The new people don't know why the old people don't like the new stuff. And, same old shit. A community in Paro. Ooh. But in reality, Paragon's got really good numbers now. They posted their numbers for it. They're doing really well. So the changes seem to have, brought in new people that are actually interested in playing the game. So we'll see how it goes in a month or two. Everyone knows the initial onset of new changes can bring a lot of interest. After that honeymoon period, so to speak, that's when shit falls apart. That's when people start noticing that apparently somebody doesn't wipe really well when they go to the bathroom, so they've got streaks in their underwear, and the other person doesn't like that, especially because they leave their underwear on the floor. It's disgusting. Wipe your ass. Come on. But before, you didn't think about that. It was just all, hey, this is pretty nice. I like this. But anyways, back to the Paragon. 30 hours. Holy shit. Richter's one of my faves. I could not figure out Twin Blast, as far as like damage was concerned. So I really pounded on working on a build for him. So I got something for him pretty kind of mid to late game. Oh man. Yeah, it is one way to put it, Jakey. Mid to late game, I worked on that and I did a video for that, and kind of light video editing. I did a few vids this week as well for the YouTube channel, looking for some intro music. I've got a couple of people that I've talked to already about intro music, but it turns out that I'm actually not quite sure what I want for intro music. I think in the end, for YouTube stuff, I'll probably pick a few different things. Digressing from the talk of Paragon, back to Paragon. You've got ranged attackers and melee attackers. That's pretty much it. You've got some support type characters, and you have some characters that inherently through abilities, you have abilities and you have cards. So you have these abilities that are inherent for each character, and then the card system that they use is what you use to kind of tweak how your character functions. You make them attack faster, you make them attack harder, you make them get life steal, for example, or maybe regenerate health or mana, or maybe they help out other characters around them through those same kind of AoE effects. But in reality, the only real difference per character is design, clearly, and the abilities that are inherent to them. Now, some characters have greater base attack, and some characters have better ability attack. So some characters are a little squishy, some characters are a little bit more durable. Movement speed is pretty much mostly all the same, because it would be unfair if you had some characters that were just extremely fast. Some are a little bit faster, but not extremely. And there are some cards that you can use that give you effects that can speed up your character on kill, for example, or make them go invisible or something like that. But all of those neat, fun things are later on. When you first play the game, it's very straightforward. Get in there, wreck some shit, and have a good time. After you kind of, get the hang of your characters and whatnot, that's when you start looking at, how do I get these cards over here that I keep earning into play? Because I never see them. I only see this default deck of cards, and you basically have 6 slots that you can put cards in, and they modify how your character plays or how your abilities play, that kind of stuff. So that's when it starts getting into all the numbers, and you have to start thinking about like early game and late game, or early, mid, and late if you're going to play for that long, that kind of stuff. It gets really nerdy, basically. I think that's the MOBA part of it, when all the strategies come into play and you have to know what the meta strategies are so you can at least counter that or know what to expect from others. But in reality, you should just know how to like tactically respond to things as they happen. But it's a really fun game. I think. I don't know. 30 hours says it's probably fun. I'm not sure. I got to like not character level, but your account level 20, opened crap loads of cards. They introduced loot crates. Overwatch has had a lot of games. Payday 2 has them, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of games that have loot crates in them that are RNG based crates. Hell, ESO came out with loot crates just before, gem crates or whatever. And basically they're RNG crates that have random assortment of things in there, and they could be good, they could be not so great, doesn't matter. It's really just you earn them by playing the game. In order to open the crates, you have to have keys, though. That's the turn. That's the trick. That's the little, okay, how are they making money off of this game if it's free to play? Things like skins, those keys to open the crates. You can buy card packs. You can invest money into like a founder's pack for them. So far, I looked at the founder's packs, and $30, $60, I just didn't see it being worthwhile spending $30 on what they were giving in the founders packs. One of them gave you like 3 mastery unlocks is what I'm going to call them. They used to call them mastery challenges. I actually think they call them mastery unlocks now, which is what they should be. And all of this may be over your head, but you get the idea of what I'm talking about, because a lot of these ideas are similar to other video games. So these mastery unlocks, what they do is each character that you play, which by the way, there's so many characters. There's like 25, I think. Each character that you play, there might be 27. I don't know. But they keep adding new characters too. So back to what I was saying. Each character that you play levels up as you play them. But because this is a team-based game, 5 people on a team, 5 people on another, or you can play versus AI, or you can even play solo. You just don't gain any rewards after a certain point in solo. But in PvE, you do. Anyways, as you level up each character, you get rewards up to level 5. Level 6, you can keep leveling your character up, you just don't get any rewards, which is why you need the Mastery Unlock. And how do you get the Mastery Unlock? You can either pay for it with coins, is what they call their in-game currency, which you can actually randomly earn while playing the game, or through reputation, which is something kind of like basically XP. And that's a really nice system. It's very reminiscent of Rainbow Six Siege, for example. That has in-game currency that you can use to spend on in-game items, or you can purchase external. Externally you can purchase, through your own money, cash money, in-game currency that pays for items, boosters, etc. No concept that it's not a new concept. There's nothing new conceptually with Paragon in regards to its purchasing system. But it's nice that it has an in-game currency and an external currency, and nothing you buy will make you a better player. Technically. So the way that you get better is by playing the game, learning how to play the game, learning how other people play the game, etc. and so forth, right? But there is one small little thing about card packs, and we talked about this a long time ago when I had a crew with the B3 GamingCast. It was the fact that, is Paragon pay to win? Now, back then I said Paragon's pay to win. It clearly is pay to win because you buy these card packs, which give you an option to get something, you know? So, you know, it's basically you could get a good card in these card packs, or you might not. But you could buy, let's say, 10 card packs. Let me clarify this. You could buy 10 card packs. Another person could, in that time, earn one card pack. In that set of 10 cards, somebody could get a card that they would play better with versus not having it, but they had the option. They had the RNG effect happen to them over 10 packs of cards versus that person that earned one pack of cards. You know, so they got like, oh, here's a health regen circlet. Wow, that's great. That's actually going to help me out early game. I'm going to live longer, etc. Versus the other guy that's, you know, he's got one pack of cards. The odds that he's going to get that specific card are probably a lot lower. So, pay to win? Pay to RNG, you know? I love it. People that normally would stay for the podcast are like, yeah, fuck this. Gamertron's not here. I'm out. Hey, I can't help it, man. Can't help it. I communicate as much as I do, but, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, moving on from Paragon, though. Really fun game. I'm having a good time with it. There's a lot of interesting things. I was working a lot on some characters. What is it named? Quang? I think his name Quang, and then Feng Mao. Those two guys are very strong minion killers and very strong mid to late game killers. I would say around like past level 10. Each character goes from 1 to 15, and that's pretty much it, you know? So 15, you should be pretty much full level. They're not gankers at all. They're more for like farming jungle and keeping lane, you know, doing lanes. I would say Feng Mao is he takes a bit more to get up in power. So, it takes a while for him to get up there in power, but he's pretty strong late game for sure. Especially when you speed up his attack and you give him health, lifesteal. Quang, on the other hand, can get just absolutely killer late game when it comes to player killing. He has a couple of skills that are like lightning based skills. His ultimate and like one other lightning AoE attack. My God, if you can put power into that, it is so. I was just murdering. Oh, just repeated 1, 2. I had a triple kill last night. First time that's ever happened for me. I was like, wow, I love Quang, whatever you want to say. You know. Anyways, great game, love it. It's available on PS4, free to play as well. We've had players in the game that we played with from PC that were also on PS4, like on the same team. That is awesome. Why don't other games do that? I'm looking at you, The Division. Why can't you let PS4 and get over your bullshit 90s bull crap or early 2000s? We don't know how to talk together. Here's the thing. If Windows systems and Mac systems can fucking communicate, I'm pretty sure we can get consoles and PCs to fucking work together, especially since the PlayStation 2 had cross-platform play between the PlayStation 2 and PCs when it came to Final Fantasy XI. I know that for a fact. And that was fucking years ago. Get your fucking heads out of your asses. What the hell's going on? I could be playing The Division with people that have had the game, but don't want to necessarily pay that same, entry money to purchase it on PC just to play with friends. It's bullshit. So speaking of The Division and bullshit... The survival for Division is actually really fun. I looked into some numbers really quickly. Apparently, I have 183 hours in Division, 30 hours in Paragon, 230 hours in ESO. Yeah. Yeah. This is all since October. Oh my God. 200, 300, and 313 hours, 343 hours at least. Those are just those games. Just those games. Division Survival, we actually played myself. Mr. Gamertron tried to play, but he was having computer issues. Dude, just change out your fucking motherboard already. Don't sit with the old... Well, this car's still working. I put some tape on it. It's still technically working. The windshield wipers work if you, like, reach your hand outside and you just wipe them back and forth with your hand. That's still working. Dude, just change a goddamn motherboard. It's right there in your home. Change it out. Change it out. The BIOS thing, figure it out. Go online. That's what the Google's is for. I figured that shit out a long time ago when I was really young, too. You can do it, man. I believe in you. Believe in the power of the cards, and you can make your motherboard work. I swear to God, it's not that hard. But instead, he wants to stick with his old system that's like, oh, no, it's okay. Wheels are falling off the car, no windshield. He's just, no, that's fine. Everything's fine, you know. Birds are flying through. What the hell? No, it's fine. It's fine. Just put your motherboard in. You can play video games together. So that he had a birthday kind of live stream. We played the survival. It's really fun. We fucked up again. We went to the dark zone and didn't have flare gun. So we trolled around the area earlier, probably too long. We got what resources we needed, but not enough. We showed up late to the dark zone. I ran out of anything that could keep the virus from killing me. Syphilis, you know, syphilis of the mouth, basically is what it is. And or gonorrhea of the eye. I can't remember. And so basically, since I couldn't stop that virus, I died. Blah! And yeah. Sad times. RIP in pieces. 2016 to 2016. Never had a chance. Really fun game. Please pick up The Division. It's free to play right now on PC for the weekend. And you won't be able to play the survival portion of it, though, so never mind that. Just don't even think about what I said. But the majority of the game is actually really fun, too. So, yeah. All those new updates to The Division. People are loving it. I wonder when they're going to turn. By the way, thanks to Mr. Philemon Grundy for telling me about the... I forget the Division. They're going to have another, I guess, player-based feedback conference. I don't know what to call it exactly. Where basically kind of like with the playtest servers where they flew people out to another country before to have them, you know, test out a new build. They're going to do that again, but this time in the United States. So I went and I found that form, Phil, and I filled it out, and hopefully they'll take me, but probably not. The important thing is I did it because it was free, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, I can't help you. I'm not a gaming news network. Said that many times, but I do know that something, The Division, go look up something about them doing playtesting in like Minnesota or Wisconsin. I have no idea. You could go there amazingly and test out a new build of the game. Oh man. So speaking of developers, you know, wanting feedback from their community. Yeah. Thanks, Phil, for that tip, but actually I read it in the news as well. Apparently the Rust developer, this game called Rust, it's a openish world survival, you know, one of those kind of survival, build your own bullshit, get thrown into the world with nothing, craft all your stuff, PvP other people, you know, the same. It just reminds me of like DayZ, basically, but with more crafting. So think 7 Days to Die, that kind of stuff, you know. We were thrown into the world. People were there to kill you. Good luck. Build up a base. Learn how to make firecrackers. Whatever. Apparently, on Reddit, he told players, if you're bored, play something else. Pretty much. That's pretty much what it came down to. If you're bored of the game, just stop playing it. And the whole thing is, let me read a quote here. He said, "I'm noticing a pattern. We need to address it. It's something we need to get past as a community, not only because it's getting boring, because it has wider implications. We're stuck in a ping pong loop. We release an update, you love it for a month, you get bored, blame the system, bitch for a few months, then release another update, and the same thing happens." Strong words. Strong words from a developer that I don't recall hearing. But I can say that, do I agree with them? Partially. But the more important thing is, I can say that anytime a developer outwardly says these kinds of things to a community, it never ends well. It never ends well. So before you do these kinds of things, being a developer, not a games developer, but being a developer, I would love to say certain things to clients. You just don't do it. And the player base, they're your clients. $20 apparently, I think, is what he was saying. If you haven't gotten your 4,000 hours from $20, that hasn't equated your fun, then just go do something else. While I agree with that, because I talked about this in Warframe a long time ago, is what are players expecting for $20? How much entertainment does the developer are they responsible for $20 in a like alpha state or what? I think I have the Steam page open here. They refer to themselves as we're in very early development. Some things work, some things don't. We haven't totally decided where the game is headed, so things will change. Things will change a lot. We might even make changes that you think are wrong, but we have a plan. It's in our interest to make the game awesome, so please trust us. That's from the developer on their Steam page. And I'm going to tell you what, even though this article brought up some bullshit about like the developer, blah, 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 if you look at the Steam reviews, overall and recently, this is about 170,000 reviews total since December 2013. Overall and recently, very positive. So that's from people that purchased the game. So you have this, and then you have the Reddit thread. Now, people that have heard me talk about things before know my opinion of Reddit. It's a vocal minority. Any of these systems are. You go to a forums, you're only going to hear on a forum, on a news article, in comment sections, on a YouTube comment section, you're only going to hear the people that bother to give a shit to even go there in the first place, make an account, and then actually type something out. Those are the people that are passionate enough, for whatever reason, positive or negative, to go and do that kind of thing. So it is a vocal minority. That is what it is. So when you have 170,000 reviews that say overall and recently, since 2013, your game has very positive feedback from the community of purchasers, versus a Reddit thread with maybe 400 or so comments, maybe closer to 500, that are trashing, whatever the developer's saying. It's kind of, you kind of have to take these things collectively versus looking at one video game news article that's trying to make their quota for views. Wow. Okay. Clearly, I never belong in PR. I don't. No public relations for me. But it's true. It's true. I've always been a fan of the idea that you talk with your money. You put your money where your ideas of what you want are intended to go. If you don't like something, then don't purchase it. Don't put into it anymore. Yeah, it looks like buy Rust Alpha. It says it's Alpha. $20. Now it's been an alpha for 3 years? Come on. That's one of those goddamn Warframe things. What is going on with that shit? You're not in alpha. If you're 3 years old, you're not in alpha. You launched it like after year 2 maybe, or maybe year 2 you were beta. Year 3, you're going on year 4. You're clearly already, you're launched. You're launched. Give me this alpha bullshit. So, yeah. And looking at some of these recent reviews, by the way, which I did too, I read some of these. Great game, blah, blah, blah. Love the game. It's fun. Even the negative ones that I saw initially, the only thing these negative ones initially, that if you look at that page, the only thing they say negatively is that they don't like the community. And the reason why they don't like the community is because people go in there, new ones even, they're saying, if you're new and you jump into that community, apparently, the code of conduct is kill on sight. So who would like that? Who would enjoy that community? Probably other people that want to be like that, which is perfectly fine for that. But it also is a very high, it also is a high barrier for people that might be interested. I might be interested in playing something like that. I have actually been watching a lot of 7 Days to Die lately. It's like a Achievement Hunter series that they've been putting out. And it's really fun. It looks like it'd be really fun with friends. I kind of want to play it because of that. But that seems like it's fun because it has its own private server, or you can set up your own game instance or something like that. Whereas if the game was, I jump in there and I'm like, hey, whatever, I got to find some resources, and I get murdered, but I don't even have anything. What are you killing me for at that point? I've got nothing. I've got no resources. It's just for the fact of like, it's a power trip. Other players being able to do something to other players that those players clearly don't want, So it's just a power trip. It's like going in the dark zone right now in the Division when you're solo. You're going to get wrecked because players in there are looking to kill anything that moves, which is fair game. Now, if there's 3 or 4 of them, they're not going to leave one person alone, because why would they? You kill the person. That's what unfortunately makes the dark zone something for me that I can't play, because I'm not going in there with the team. So that means that it's off limits to anyone else unless you have a team. It's kind of shitty. So yeah, the developers of the Division, they want to know, well, why don't people play the Dark Zone? Because it sucks. It sucks to go in there and get ganked. Unless you have a team of 3 or 4 or 5, something like that. It's an unbalanced and unfair system. Regardless of if you can have the same equipment, you would still have to deal with all of these other targets that are pretty much going to murder you. So, yeah, Rust, I don't know. I mean, the developer, I might agree with what he has to say, because I saw the same kind of reactions in Warframe. An update would come out, people would love on it, and then immediately after loving on it, maybe even within the same week, immediately turn over to pure hatred, mocking, derision, name-calling, all kinds of stuff to the developers. The worst things you can think. That, to me, makes me, and that's a free-to-play game. To me, that has less to do with what the developers are doing wrong with their game, and more with what in the fuck do gamers expect? What kind of entitled attitude is that? It just purely speaks to the immaturity of which gamers want to be treated like normal people. They want to be, they want to say, well, we can be mature, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, if that community doesn't react in that way, how can you expect anything better than what how you're being labeled if you don't live up to what you say you want to be treated as? So I don't know. It's the same old thing. Yes, some development as it comes out needs to be criticized. Criticism does not equal death threats. Criticism does not equal, hey, fuck you, you fucking fuck. That's not criticism. That's just a person lashing out because they don't know how to communicate. Or for some reason, it just makes them feel better to say things like that, whatever. Yeah, that's fine. It's video games. And that's that. At the end of the day, that's what it is. It's video games. It should not be that bad. So, anyways, yeah. Interesting stuff in the world of Rust that I didn't know about, and I'm not interested in getting into. But someone that is interested in getting into video games, and we know he is interested in video games because he built his own computer. for his son, supposedly, and he started live streaming. Then got another amazing, computer built by some other, I think some YouTuber is what I was told. And then he was on the Conan O'Brien show recently playing a video game. Terry Crews wants to be in Overwatch. And I say, sure, why the hell not? He's already a character. The community loves him. He's got good social, value right now to people, He's not, people look at him like, yeah, that's a cool dude. Yeah, throw him in there. Strike while the iron's hot, man. I would love to see what kind of character he's actually going to be. Although, I mean, like I said, he's already a character. It doesn't take a whole lot to characterize him to put him in a video game, I don't think. Very, very curious as to what that would look like and whether or not they're actually going to do something like that. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't. I mean, it's Blizzard and it's a really big name star. So yeah, let's get it done. That needs to happen. That needs to definitely happen. That could be a small little update. Let's see. I saw this here. Let me see if I can find any other info about it real quick before I move on from this topic. Unannounced character. I'd love to play Doomfist. Apparently the character would be Doomfist. That makes sense. Brooklyn Nine-Nine Expendables, blah, blah, blah. Nothing else really more about that. But I like the name of the character itself. Yeah. One other article I saw. Call of Duty. Gamertron's love for that game that he has no bounds for. Call of Duty Infinite War apparently is already the United States top grossing console game of 2016. So all of the bullshit, like it's not selling well, blah, 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 turns out to be just that bullshit. So I read the article, and basically there's some caveats there because only part of the sales for digital were accounted for. It was like apparently some NPD group that did the sales count for like November of this year. So apparently not all of the digital sales were accounted for in that. And they're, of course, not mentioning how much the sales are this year compared to previous versions, which is kind of important in the minds of some gamers. But at the same time, I'm like, well, it is what it is. What are you going to do? So, yeah. I still have no interest in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I remember one other thing from the article. There was the idea that the sales can be so high because more expensive versions of the game apparently come packaged with Modern Warfare, like a remaster, and that's why people are buying it. It's like an $80 value, so that's driving up the cost, the revenue or whatever. So it's kind of a little, By the way, the people that said that this was the top grossing game of 2016 was Activision itself. So, I mean, they're telling us where they're pulling the numbers from, but at the same time, looks really good. The other important thing is getting that headline out there is more impactful in people's minds than actual facts, because you can print retractions all the time or bring up another article where you retract that statement, but it doesn't matter because the damage is already done. Smart move. Good move, Activision. Good move. Last thing that I have on the list is Assassin's Creed movie. I saw a trailer for it. Didn't mean to, but there was a trailer, and I was like, wait, what is this? I was watching some 7 Days to Die video game stuff. And it looks really good. I remember we talked about this before. This is going to be Michael Fassbender, and I don't really have that much interest or anything much invested in that series, but I will say it looks really good. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to actually seeing that. I don't think that Michael Fassbender would get into a really bad movie, but we'll see. We'll see. And honestly, 40 minutes in, that's pretty much all I have topic-wise, because I was busy during the day, and I was thinking, well, I'm a little busy. It's 6:30, not quite 7 yet. I'm running a little late. It's okay. One of the two other guys is going to have a little bit more to fill in, like usual. So we're going to end the podcast early because I'm done. And honestly, I don't know if the B3 community is playing some Division, but I would love to play some The Division or maybe a little ESO. I'm not sure. Definitely would love to play a little Division. Think I've gotten my fill of some of the Paragon as it is. And I could take a little bit of a break. I beat away some of the issues that I had with some of the characters, except for Sparrow. Fuck you, Sparrow. I don't know how to play Sparrow still. Still don't know. Anyways, we're going to wrap up. And we will see you next time. Maybe we'll see if there is a B3 Gaming Cast next week. Maybe everyone will be dead. Maybe it will be empty air. Yeah, that was quick, Rakshaw. There's nobody else here. I was not fully prepared. I could go through some articles, but that would be very, how you say, lazy and unprepared. Let's see. I'll troll through some of these things here real quick to see if I find anything that is of interest. Nope, nothing of interest. Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I don't care about that shit. Why are they still talking about it? Why are they still talking about Call of Duty Black Ops 3? Could get more content in 2017. I don't care. But I think that was like their best-selling game or something like that. Blizzard talks Overwatch legendary epic skins after fans' disappointment with May's latest. Boom! There you go. They should go watch my video. Where I criticize their work on skins. They really should. Actually, it's not one video. It's a multitude of videos. Yeah. Stardew Valley. I don't care about that. Ark. Another one of those survival open world. Let's murder each other, but we're going to build up things. And hey, my life in real life is bad, so I'm going to go ahead and make your life in digital life horrible. Nice. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember Warframe put out like a snowball event or something like that. I'm not sure if it's actually snowballs. Basically kind of copying Overwatch if it is snowballs, because Overwatch put out their snowball type thing where you play as main, you throw snowballs at each other, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I think the community's really just bitching about May's outfit because they want to see her in a thong. That's it. They want to see how much junk she's got in the trunk. They're like, you're wrapping her up in all these things, all these coats and whatnot. Let's see what's underneath. What's going on in there? How big are we talking? Oh, man. Okay. I'm getting the fuck out of here. You guys have a great weekend. I think I did a decent 40-odd-ish minutes. I don't want to waste anyone else's time. And we will see you next time.